Alright, I'm on hole number 3 of the Parc de Paris course. I'm playing in the City of Light tournament. Alright. I am coming out into this area right here, trying to end up in that shadow. Now there's lots of different ways that you can play this. You can do the bounce over. If you've got a big topper, you can do it with any driver if you're trying to do the bounce over. The more topspin you have, the better. Use a Kingmaker. Extra mile. I'll bring my sniper. The other way you can go at it is you can try and do a max overpower shot and end up down there going right into the middle of the fairway, but your first landing zone is in the narrowest part of the entire course. So I'm going to be off to the right just a little bit, and I'm going to let the wind do the work for me to push me back to the center of the fairway, and the fairway's wider up at the top. So if I bring in a 3 power ball, I can start off on the other side, and I won't have to do, I may do just a slight bit, just depending on the wind, I may do just a slight bit of overpower. But if I have like a 3.5, 4 mile an hour wind, I'm just going to let the wind do the work. I'm not going to do any hero stuff here. If I've got a smaller wind, 2.5, 3, I may have to put just a little bit of overpower, but that's just rubbing up against the nubs. I'm not going to do anything that's going to make the needle go any faster. So I've got the smaller wind. I want to kind of balance it out. I like to be right there on that transition where my bullseye is right on the rough. So the wind's going to push me forward out into this area. So I put max curl and just a little teeny bit of overpower. And I hit it great to the left. As long as I can clear on this first bounce, I'll be fine. And that's pretty good distance. I'm actually getting a little more distance than I'd like. I'd like to be right in between those shadows, and while you think, that doesn't make that big of a difference, that's not that much, I'm starting to eke towards mid-club. And there's a serious albatross shot on this hole. You have a very good albie shot. Especially if you're up there far enough that you can get onto the fairway on the green side. You can come right straight at the pin, and you don't have to engage the hill to the left. So where the flagpole's at down there, there's a big hill to the left, there's a big backboard. And if you are trying to run down that backboard and have to engage that hill, not only do you have to adjust for wind, but you have to adjust for gravity. And right where my opponent's at, that's my preferred spot. That's perfect. Now, their problem is that they brought a 2 power ball instead of a 3 power ball, and they may not be able to get over to this little window right here. So there's max, there's minimum, so we're eking towards the mid. It's 2.8, so it's 1.2 per ring, so there's 2.4. That leaves me 4. It's about a third, so it's about 2 1/3 rings. We just need to hit it perfect. And I hit it great to the right. And it went great to the right. Really like the albatross shot on this hole. Let's see if my opponent has the window there, and they're right at it, so they got just that little bit of window, and that's perfect because you need to be able to come at it from the bottom. Now I'm not sure if the hammerhead has enough backspin to get them to stop there. I'm never sure how people do that when they pull the ball up and they're making adjustments. You got to be far enough back so that when you pull the ball up and you make those adjustments, you can see your ball guide so that you can dial that in. My opponent is making eyeball wind adjustments and I have no clue. Hit it great to the right. You see how much the ball drops. So as it gets slower and slower in its roll, it drops more and more to the right. So the less that you can engage that hill and the more you can come straight at it, the better chance you have of actually making Albie here. So that's why drive landing area is so important. You want to be in a specific spot so that on your second shot going into the green, you've got that ideal trajectory. You can come at it low. I'm all about doing dunk shots, but sometimes those dunk shots, if you don't set them up quite right, you'll hit the flagpole about 2 inches before it goes into the cup and it'll bounce out of the cup. Good game. I will forfeit. You don't want to practice any of these holes, especially these par 3s. This par 3 right here, I'm starting to get dialed in. I'm all over it. Now I just need to get that last little adjustment. Alright, that was hole number 3 of Parc de Paris. Thanks for watching.